Never saving money sounds strange, doesn't it? But the story you're about to hear about two childhood friends from a small Indian village might completely change the way you think about saving and investing. Deep in rural India, between wide golden wheat fields and the calm flow of the Yamuna River, there was a quiet village named Sundarpur. Life there moved slowly. Neighbors treated each other like family, and the land was both a source of survival and wisdom. In this village lived two young men who had been close friends since childhood, Romesh and Kishan. They grew up playing in dusty streets, studying beneath the same banyan tree, and lying on their rooftops at night, dreaming of a better future as they stared at the stars. They came from similar families. Their fathers worked as farm laborers on the lands of wealthy landlords, earning just enough to feed their households. When the time came for the two friends to begin their independent lives, each received an inheritance of 5,000 rupees from his father. Romesh's father said, "This is all I can give you, my son. Protect it carefully. Save every single paisa. Money saved is money earned." Kishan's father gave very different advice. "Son, money is like water. When it stays still, it becomes stagnant and slowly disappears. Let it move, let it grow, and it will feed many fields." Both young men listened carefully to their fathers, but they understood the advice in completely different ways. Romesh followed his father's words exactly. He wrapped his 5,000 rupees in an old cloth and buried it beneath the floor of his small hut. He worked as a farm laborer, earning about 50 rupees a day during harvest and barely 20 during slow seasons. Every extra coin he earned went straight into that hidden bundle. One evening, Kishan asked him, "Why do you hide your money like that? It just sits there doing nothing." "It's safe," Romesh replied confidently. "When difficult times come, I'll have something to rely on." When Romesh asked Kishan what he had done with his money, Kishan simply smiled. "I bought a cow." Romesh laughed. "A cow? That money could have stayed safe for years. Now you have to feed it, care for it, and worry about losing it. That was a foolish decision." But Kishan didn't agree. He woke up before sunrise every day, took care of his cow, collected the milk, and sold it in the village market. 6 months later, the cow gave birth to a calf. Within 2 years, Kishan owned 3 cows. Time passed, just like monsoon clouds drifting across the sky. After 5 years, Romesh had saved almost 20,000 rupees. He was proud of his discipline, but he noticed something troubling. Vegetables that once cost 2 rupees now cost 5. Clothes that used to cost 100 rupees were now 300. His savings had grown in number, but their real value was shrinking. Meanwhile, Kishan's small dairy had expanded to 10 cows. He hired 2 village boys to help him and began selling milk in a nearby town. He bought a small piece of land and built a proper shed. "How did you manage all this?" Romesh asked, clearly confused. "My cows earn money even while I sleep," Kishan replied. "Every morning there is milk to sell. Every year there are new calves. My money didn't sit still, it multiplied." Romesh dismissed it as luck and continued saving, believing his moment would come. After 10 years, Romesh had nearly 50,000 rupees saved. But life had become far more expensive. A sack of rice that once cost 200 rupees now cost 600. Medical costs had increased. His children needed school fees, books, and uniforms. Slowly, he began using his savings, not to grow them, but simply to survive. Kishan, on the other hand, now owned a dairy farm with 30 cows. He had 5 acres of land, employed 10 villagers, and sent his children to a good school in town. He drove a tractor, dressed well, and most importantly, lived with peace of mind. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in shades of orange and gold, the two friends sat together on Kishan's farm. "I don't understand," Romesh said with regret. "We started in the same place, with the same amount of money. How did our lives become so different?" Kishan gently placed a hand on his shoulder. "Do you see that pond over there? The water is dirty because it never moves. Now look at the river. It flows, it stays fresh, and it gives life to everything around it. Money works the same way. You thought saving meant protecting your future, but money that doesn't move loses its value. Prices rise, costs grow, and what could buy a cow yesterday can barely buy a goat today. I wasn't luckier than you. I simply let my money work." Romesh stayed silent for a long time. For the first time, he truly understood. The next morning, Romesh used his remaining savings to buy 2 young cows from Kishan. It was late, but not too late. Over the years, with guidance and hard work, he slowly built his own small dairy business. He never became as wealthy as Kishan, but he learned a far greater lesson. Saving money is not the same as growing money. This story carries a truth many people realize too late. There is a difference between protecting money and helping it grow. Saving without purpose feels safe, but while money stays still, the world keeps moving. Prices rise and value fades, not because it was stolen, but because it stopped growing. Money is not a treasure. It is a tool, and tools are meant to be used. When money is put to work, through learning skills, starting something small, or investing wisely, it begins to multiply and create opportunities. This doesn't mean spending recklessly or taking blind risks. It means asking yourself a simple question. Is my money working, or is it just waiting? The most beautiful part of this story is that even when Romesh realized his mistake late, he still acted. And that's the real message. It's never too late to change your approach. Start small. Invest in yourself. Take the first step. Because money that moves creates life. But money that stays still slowly fades away. Now I'd like to hear from you. What is one way you can put your money or skills to work starting today? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this story inspired you, like the video, share it, and subscribe for more stories that educate and inspire. Until next time, stay patient, stay grateful, and remember, money saved is money earned, but money invested is money multiplied.